worked really hard on this, but I have something to tell you. So yesterday night, it was 8:30, and I was looking into the starry night sky, the beautiful bright moon and the bright stars, and I was in bed, and I fell asleep, dozed off. And in my dreams, someone was pushing me, someone was nudging me, right? And I got so scared. What is this? And they kept saying, wake up, wake up. Oh, Serby, wake up. No, it was really late at night. Why would I want to wake up? This confused me a lot. And in the morning, I woke up and I thought about it for a little bit. What might this calling mean? And I realized I have to take my time more seriously. You know, this human form is one that we took centuries to be able to get to. So why would we use it in social media, Facebook, Twitter, you know? Why don't we use it in Krishna's service, you know? Yeah. So I thought that the Bhagavad Gita, that wakes us up from this material world. What do you think, Vedant?
I completely agree. It is the oldest scripture, and while reading it, I found out in text 4.1 that Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita first to the sun god, and then the sun god spoke it to Manu, and after that, Manu spoke it to Vishnu. So this has been the transcendental knowledge. It's been there for a while, and the Bhagavad Gita that we know from the Mahabharata was spoken 5,000 years ago on the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
Yep. But I have something to tell you. You all know that the Bhagavad Gita is transcendental, right? But there are some people, who are not attached, who don't know Krishna, who don't believe in Krishna, right? They think that the Bhagavad Gita is just boring information after information after information. That's not true, is it?
No.
It's actually like a storybook. I have absolutely enjoyed reading it. It's just like a storybook, like the storybooks that you read as a kid, but it's literally a life manual for like your entire life, all the way until you go back to Godhead. And I don't think that we would be able to use and read this Bhagavad Gita as we do every day without Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, the author of Bhagavad Gita is Srila Prabhupada, who has a great compassion for his readers. Now, he's a pure devotee of the Lord, and we're so fortunate that this book is written in English, and we can learn from his wonderful purport. Our mission is very clear, and he just wants us to serve Ishvara and have different relationships with him. And that can come as being Shanta, Sakya, Dasya, Vatsalya, or Madhurya.
Okay, so does anyone know the 5 main topics of the Bhagavad Gita? Anyone? No? Okay, well, I think I've learned from reading the Bhagavad Gita that it's about Bhagwan, Prakriti, material nature, Jiva, the soul, Kala, time, and Karma, your actions. It was really fun learning this in Bhakti Kids. So in the introduction, Srila Prabhupada already sets the mood of the reader. You want to at least accept that the Supreme Personality, theoretically, you may have your questions of like maybe, I don't really believe this, but at least theoretically by your scriptures, you should understand that, okay, he may be the Supreme. And after reading it fully, I think that I fully understand, yes, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as we've been learning in Bhakti Kids, and I feel like that's a really good point that to share. And eventually, what Srila Prabhupada's purports talk about, the subject gives us ideas on how to change our karma in our day-to-day life to make progress in this very life, not in 100 lives, 200 lives, in this very life.
Yeah, I completely agree again. And in the introduction, Srila Prabhupada decided to write this as it is. And what does that even mean? What does as it is really mean? Well, he refers this to how we should take medicine only as prescribed from a doctor and not by a friend. And in this way, we should take these words only from Krishna. The book begins with the words of Dhritarashtra, and the blind king. And he's blinded by material bondage or material things like us. And this just shows that this book can be for anyone, all of us, not just a few amount of people.
Yeah, and to conclude, I think that the Bhagavad Gita helps us in our day-to-day life, whatever we do, whatever decision that we make. It helps us learn that the difference from right and wrong. For example, if I am going to a sleepover with my friends, but I have a test the next day, I really want to go, but the scriptures say, do your tests, focus on your studies, correct? Yeah, so I feel like that's like one example of how the Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita helps us. Yep. And making these spiritually inclined decisions really help us take 10 steps closer, become 10 steps closer to Krishna. And with this, we cleanse our hearts and remove all the dust and grime from it. And this helps us attain pure love for Krishna. Haribol.